Yes, it's Murray Thompson, and this is my Dahlia patch. These are the two rows that contain most of the new, to me, cultivars that I have managed to pick up this year from friends and from official sources. And I thought I'd try out my new gimbal and see whether or not I could get some decent shots in the video. Let's just try down the left-hand row here to start off with. You'll find that the pink, the dark pink that you see in front of me here is Mary's Jomanda, which is a bald, deep pink. This is a lovely form. Here's one that's just nicely starting out on its path. You can see the darker intensity right in the center of the bloom. And there's no fading of it yet. This is actually a pretty good one for not fading, but there are some that fade as time goes on. You can see one down here that in the sunlight is perhaps more pronounced than what it should be, but you can see that this is one that's more aged. This is one that I would typically decide to pass along to friends and neighbors. Next one down here, this white Liciniated one, is called Normandy Wedding Day. These ones have been visited to some degree by Japanese beetles, among others. But this is one that I figure is particularly beguiling. I just have a particular spot in my heart for the Liciniateds. Now, you can see this one pink one right behind it as well. This is a new one as well. And I've better check it. This is Westerton Pearl. This is one that Jim Hall got me. In fact, the other two I got from Jim as cuttings as well. He does a good job with the cuttings. Now, down here in between is a rather low-looking plant. This is one that I've had 3 different issues of before. This one is, as well, has come from Jim as a cutting, and it's called Rycroft Zoe. It's a BB semi-cactus light blend, which is an orange and a yellow. These ones are not perhaps indicative of the best quality that blooms that you will get on these, but in this particular case, this gives you at least the colors that the more mature kind of bloom will give you. Further on, you will wind up seeing more of a preponderance of the yellow in the bloom. In any case, the next one here is Clearview del Sol, which is a yellow stellar. You can see that this perhaps isn't a good one, just with the fact that it's pointed down. But just in passing, some folks have said that you can sometimes straighten these up by putting cotton wedges up behind them. And there was one grower that said that if you were out here often enough in the garden, you could actually take your hand and, perhaps I better explain on one of these, you could take your thumb and forefinger and just kind of gently bend it up like that. This was Martin Ojasti, by the way, that passed this particular tip along. Every time you go into the garden, if you do a little bit of that, and assuming that you've got good watering and everything else, eventually you can get it to train upwards somewhat. A better angle of a bloom you'll see in this one right here. Aside from the fact that it's got plant damage on the back of it, that's the better angle for showing. Perhaps just a little more tall would be ideal, but it's really quite good. In any case, the greens on this one are something that I was watching, because earlier versions of this I had gotten that I thought looked a little bit too yellow for my liking, and this one is much more green, which surprises me. These have not had any fertilizer or whatever right from the get-go, just a little bit of water. Anyway, the next one down here is this one right here, which is a very hardy grower and with great greens. It's called Westerton Lilian. Now you can see here that the new stalks for the buds have grown a substantial amount, so that the original flower is somewhat down in the greens. This is indicative of weather where it's cooling off, in theory, where it's cooling off a little bit, not that it has here, and or that it's got a reasonable amount of water and feed. This one happens to be defying the heat a little bit and growing very well. Anyway, next one down here is one called Gwyneth, which is an orange water lily. This is a new to me, again from Jim, and I rather like this one. It's got some nice coloring to it. I wouldn't say I would take this particular one to the shows, but for a garden type of bloom, it's really quite nice. And here you can see down in here, it's the same thing where the flower by itself has been overtaken by the buds. So there's very little reason why you can't, for example, take those original flowers off and enjoy the new unfolding blooms. It does make a lovely show of color. Now, I am waiting still for flowers from this particular one. This is called Coral Jupiter. Now, I had a Rose Jupiter, which was right next to this one, and you can see that right now there is a hole there. I pulled it out because I didn't like the look of the leaves. All the Jupiters, to my experience, have leaves that look like this. That in any other plant, I would consider them suspect. They wind up changing color, yellowing and browning off on the bottom far more early than other cultivars. And I don't fancy that in a Dahlia, but it does not seem to be an indication of a health condition for the Jupiter lineup of flowers. It's an old cultivar. It came out of, I think, the 80s or 90s from the UK. I'd have to check that out, but in any case. I see in this next one here, Hamari Accord, which is a bee semi-cactus in yellow, and we have a little bit of a visitor right here. You can see these are the kind of visitors that I take a dim view of. So we shall put pressure on him to leave. So him having gone and having ceased to exist in